Edward Theodore Gein was a serial criminal and a great desecrator born on the 27th of August 1906 in Wisconsin, USA. He died on the 26th of July 1984 at the Mendota Heart Institute in Wisconsin of natural causes of respiratory failure. His parents were Augusta Wilhelmine Gein and George Philip Gein. He had a brother, Henry George Gein. He was surnamed the Butcher of Plainfield or the Plainfield Gold, and he inspired many movies as Psycho, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or The Palace of the Flames. In October 2025, Netflix presents the dramatization Master at Gein after an episode about Holocaust. His mother was a very religious woman who often taught her sons to stay away from alcohol and women because they were evil and the instruments of the devil. She ordered her sons to stay virgins. She read the Bible to them every day, especially from the Old Testament and the Book of Revelation. Paragraphs about death and murder and divine retribution. She always warned her sons they would become failures just like their father. Beth's brother never believed her. Their father was an alcoholic, not able to keep a job. He beat the boys. Actually, he always beat Ed in the head till Ed could hear singing in his ears. And Augusta was the breadwinner in the house. She had a successful grocery store in La Crosse, but she had an obsession with their town, believing it was a very depraved town. When Ed was 8, she moved her family to an isolated farm. Except in school, the children had no contact with anyone. At school, Ed was very quiet. He had a lazy eye. He had a problem at his eyelid and a lesion on his tongue, so he could hardly speak. And he had a very effeminate voice. He always came home crying. His classmates and teachers told about him he was a strange kid. He often burst out laughing with no reason, more than sure he was hearing voices. When he liked a kid and wanted to be friends, he came home and told his mother about that kid, and his mother would denigrate him, telling that the child was too a sinner for Ed. He liked very much reading. He was a good reader. He liked especially the adventure stories which would allow him to escape reality. At the age of 12, he was caught by his mother in the bathtub masturbating. She grabbed his genital organs, calling them the curse of a man. When he was 14, he gave up school. When he was 34, his father died of heart failure. Till then, he never had a girlfriend. After his father died, he had to bring more money in the house, so he began repairing things at his neighbors, and especially he began babysitting because he was very good with kids. His brother George was planning to move with a woman who had already had 2 children, so their mother would be terrified. George told Ed he believed Ed was too attached to his mother, having a brief heart reaction, but Ed disagreed. In 1944, Ed was burning away the dry vegetation on the property. The fire went out of the control, so the firemen had to come to solve the problem. Till the end of that day, Ed couldn't find his brother anywhere. Henry George was looked for till late in the night with flashlights, and he was finally found dead on the ground. He was not burned but only asphyxiated, as the medical post-mortem examination revealed. He also had some suspicious marks on his head. But Ed was not suspected, although many people believed Ed killed him. He killed his brother. Short after that, Augusta had a stroke and she remained paralyzed, so Ed had to take care of her. She still could talk but not move. She allowed him to sleep in the bed with her, but she had another stroke and she died in 1945 when she was 67. Ed was 39 and he was devastated. He lived on at the farm. He boarded the rooms of his mother for them not to change. When he was not working, he was reading about cannibals and about Nazi atrocities. He was very interested in a Nazi woman, Iris Koch, a war criminal in Germany who was referred to as the commanders of the Russian world, although she had no official position in the Nazi state. Among her crimes, there were found prisoners with tattoos selected for death, and they were killed in order to make gloves from their skin. He also read about the exhumation of bodies, about shrinking heads, and about the anatomy of the human body. More and more obsessed with that. As he was babysitting, he talked to the children about that. In the morning of the 16th of November 1957, a woman named Bernice Warden, the owner of Warden's Hardware, disappeared. It was a very quiet day. All the people went out hunting. It was the hunting season. Her son entered her store, but the store was empty. No one was there, not even his mother. He only found the register with blood on it. He told the investigations that his mother disappeared the night before, that the day before only at the Gein was there and expected again the next day for a gallon of antifreeze. So the antifreeze was the last receipt written by Bernice before she disappeared. So at the Gein was arrested. They hoped to find Bernice alive at his home. When they arrived there, the place was very messy and they stepped into a corpse. They hoped it was that animal, but it was Bernice decapitated. She was hanging by her feet, upside down. Her organs had been removed. She had been shot with a rifle, so she had died before she was cut. They also found human bones and other human fragments, a basket made of human skin, several chairs covered with human skulls serving as bowls to eat from, a corset made from a female torso, leggings made from human skin, masks made from the skin of female heads, Bernice's head in a sack, her heart in a plastic bag, 9 female genital organs in a shoebox, The dress of a young girl and the genital organs of two girls of 15, a belt made of female nipples for noses, a lamp made from the skin of a female human face, knives, and others. There was another woman, Mary Hogan, who had disappeared 3 years before. Now they found a mask made of her face and her skull. He admitted he had shot her. He told the investigators that after his mother died, he visited the three local cemeteries in the night times. He exhumed the fresh bodies of the women and took them home and did all that. He said that a friend, Gus, helped him. When Gus couldn't help him because he was institutionalized, he turned into a killer to go on with his activity. He declared that the investigators 9 grains from where he had taken the bodies, and he showed them 2 grains to analyze. And what he had said was confirmed. He just wanted to operate his mother's grave at the beginning, but the body was not fresh, or he couldn't reach the cabin or something to be close, at the moment from which, so he chose other woman from which to construct his mother. He said he had never had sex with them, but only took their genital organs and put them on his body to look like a woman. He showed no signs of remorse. He was even cheerful when he told her that the man who discovered the hanging body hit his head against a brick wall, so his first confession was not admissible. The man died before the trial of a heart failure because of the trauma. His psychiatrist said that he only chose women resembling his mother. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He was also a sexual psychopath due to the way he had been educated by his mother. On November 21, 1957, he was accused with first-degree murder, but he pleaded not guilty because he was insane. He was sent to the Central State Mental Hospital, and after 11 years he was stabilized. After 11 years, he said he couldn't remember what he had done to Bernice, but he admitted having killed Mary. He was a good patient, and he was allowed to use the money he had earned. He didn't necessitate to be tranquilized. His house was speculated to be transported in a museum, but it was destroyed by a fire with unknown cause. He died at the age of 77, and he was buried near his mother with a headstone, but people would steal pieces of it, and it finally disappeared.